Hi there, friends. I just recently realized I hadn't ever really given my whole hair loss wig journey story ever. So I kind of thought I'd tell you how I got started doing this and why I started wearing wigs and all the different health issues that can cause a person to have hair loss. I always had really straight, fine hair, but not especially thin until I got in my 20s. And then in my 20s, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And I started taking medicine then for that. And that's one of the things that can cause hair loss. And then the medicine itself, I've heard, can also cause hair loss. So along in the 20s and 30s, I started losing a lot of hair. I mean, it wasn't like I was taking out big chunks. It was just progressively getting thinner. And I didn't try to hide it or anything, but I couldn't ever just get up and go. I had to go mess with my hair, blow it dry. I used all the different kinds of products I could find to try to make it look thicker and stuff. I was also diagnosed along in that same time period with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which causes infertility. I was only ever able to have one child, and we tried for years and years, but because of that, and I also lost hair. That can cause a lot of hair loss. And I took once I was diagnosed with that, there was a medicine called spironolactone that I took for years. It's an androgen blocker, and it's supposed to make your hair get thicker. It never did anything for me. My hair loss just progressively got worse. By my 40s, it was getting pretty thin. And I just remember being terrified sometimes of like going out in public, and which I did. I had a job and everything, so I had to go out, but I was always aware of how thin my hair was and like trying to cover up my scalp as much as I could. I was terrified of rain because that would mess up the whole hairdo I had done that morning. I was using all the different products that are supposed to make your hair look thicker and everything, and of course none of it was working. And then back in 2009, we were at a family gathering, and my daughter-in-law took a picture of us. I'll try to find it and insert it here. And it showed how thin the hair was on the top of my head. And I saw that on our way home. And she's a hairstylist. And so she got to hear me moan and groan a lot about my hair. And she tried to help me as much as she could. And it hit me then how bad it looked. Like, I thought I was hiding it better than I was, and I cried, and we talked about things, and I was like, for some reason, to me, at that point in time, I thought Wigs was like giving up. And I was just there. I couldn't handle it anymore. We just had to go to the wig store. So she said she'd go with me to the wig store, and I think we went pretty quick, maybe the next day or the next weekend. I went to an actual in-person wig store and tried on several wigs, and I bought one that was looked a whole lot like my bio hair at that point, which was an ashy brown. And actually it was Raquel Welch Cinch was the wig that I bought. I didn't know at the time what the name of it was. I didn't know anything about wigs at that time, but I wore that, and I took it home, and then I was terrified to wear it to work for the first time because I was like, it's going to be so obvious. Everybody's going to know. I was trying so hard to hide my hair loss at that point, or hide my wig wearing. I'm not sure. It's not like I could hide the hair loss, but I don't know. I was just terrified that people would know it was a wig, and then they'd say something and I'd be embarrassed. But I think what I did was I took I had a vacation, and then when I went back from vacation, ta-da, I had hair. So I wore the new wig then. And there was one lady I worked with who came and asked me, she's like, your hair looks great. What did you do? And so I told her it was a wig, and looking back now, it's like, it was so obvious when I went from basically almost bald to having a full head of hair. I don't know why I thought I needed to hide it, but that is one of my biggest regrets, is that for the next almost 14 years, I wore wigs to work and everywhere, and did my best to hide it, that I was wearing a wig. So I wore basically the same style every single day, same color. And it was a style that looked, I mean, I had changed from cinch. There was another style I went to. At the time, it was called Noriko. I don't think they make it anymore. It was Noriko Tia. And I wore that for years. And wore the same wig every single day. Wore it for 3 to 6 months till it was worn out and getting kind of ratty. And then I'd go buy another one. I mean, I'd buy it online. So I just kept my whole charade going for almost 14 years. I found out, I mean, I learned a lot about wigs during that time, about mono tops and mono parts and lace fronts. And I was always on YouTube, always researching. And this was kind of before Instagram and everything, but always trying to figure out, you know, what's the next best wig for me. And through the years, I had started, if I saw a wig on clearance, or I was in several of the Facebook groups where people resell their wigs, and I'd buy one that was like, oh, I'd love to have this hair, but I could never wear it. But I'd buy it anyway. So I probably had 20 wigs up in the top of my closet that I had bought from different websites, clearance sections, and from different individuals. And I thought, you know, at some point I'm going to get brave enough. I'm just going to come out and tell everybody, and I am going to wear whatever I want every day. So that went on for a long time. Like I said, almost 14 years that I did my best to hide it. A few, I mean, immediate family knew that I was wearing wigs. Some of the extended family, I don't think they knew. So they were surprised then when I finally did come out. And that came about because in this past March, I had once again ordered a wig on clearance that was so cute. I'm trying to remember. It was a Gabor, and it was in a beautiful, this is Gabor Trend Alert, by the way, and shaded iced pumpkin spice. But it was a Gabor. I'm thinking it might have been modern motif, which was long for me compared to what I'd been wearing, because after they discontinued Noriko Tia, I had switched to Ellen Villa. I've just gone blank. It's kind of my standard short wig that I wear on the weekends a lot. Oh, Flip Mono. So I had switched to that one. And I had it in basically just the plain old brown colors that I always wore my hair in. But I ordered that other, the modern motif, I believe it was. And so I had picked it up. I had it shipped to their house because we live out in the country and our mail gets stolen sometimes and stuff. So anyway, I had gone by to pick it up, and I showed my daughter-in-law, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. And I tried it on and everything. And, you know, it was a chin length kind of bob. And she was like, of course, she's been buzzing my head for me, helping me with my hair and my wigs, like altering them if I ever needed it, for years now. And I tried that one on, and she says, you know, it's time. And I said, what? And she said, you either need to stop buying wigs or you need to start wearing them. You've bought all of these really cute styles and you're not wearing them. So just do it. And so I think someone else in one of the groups I was on had kind of shared their story about how they came out on Facebook. And so I think it was that night. I somehow built up the nerve after almost 14 years. I built up the nerve to do it. I did this whole Facebook post and said, I'm coming out of the wig closet, that is. And I showed pictures of me and all these other wigs that I had bought that I'd never worn. I basically told my hair loss story and said that I was tired of hiding it and that I'm gonna start having fun with it. And so I posted that on Facebook. The amount of support I got was overwhelming. Obviously it still touches me that people cared that much, and they were so supportive and encouraging, and it made me regret so much that I had waited so long to actually have fun with this. And so, sorry, this was not planned. And then also to go along with that, because I wasn't friends with everybody that I work with, I wasn't friends with them on Facebook. So I sent them all a group text and said, hey, and did some screenshots of my Facebook post and said, hey, I wear wigs. I have a form of alopecia, and just be warned, I'm probably going to have different hair in different colors every day because I'm finally ready to have fun with it. And so I did. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's very many days since last March that I've worn the same wig 2 days in a row, only on the weekends, because all during the week I'm trying out all these styles and colors. And I mean, I have a serious addiction now, possibly, but I've had so much fun with it ever since then. It's given me a different level of confidence and, I don't know, hope. And it's taken away the stigma that I had associated with hair loss in my own mind. And it's made it so much more fun, and I'm just loving it. And I regret so much, so many regrets that I waited so long to start having fun with it. So then, like in May, I decided I should start I should talk about this on Instagram, because I followed so many other wig people and hair loss people, and I decided it was time for me to maybe start a page so that I could help educate and that I could help other people have the courage, to have more courage than I did, obviously, to have the courage to come out and have fun with it. And so I started this page, my Instagram then, Wiggy Mom 42. I'd had one, which was Your Mom 42, and that was because my son and my daughter-in-law refer to me as Your Mom all the time. So that was my name on that Instagram account, and then I decided I should start a separate one, so then it became Wiggy Mom 42, so that's the story of the name. But I started that, and I've enjoyed it. This community of people, the hair loss community on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, so many great groups. There's just this whole, it's opened a world to me that I didn't even realize. I knew that was out there because I've been interacting with these people all these years, kind of, even while I was hiding everything. But it's just been amazing having this whole community of friends and support and people. And I apologize for all the traffic noise all at once. That's the hazards of living out here. But all of that to say, I'm here basically to help, support, to educate, to give the tips I've figured out over the years, because I've been wearing wigs a long time. But I am having a blast with it now. And like I said, I really wish I'd started this a long time ago. Like, I really wish I'd come out a long time ago, because I could have been having this much fun. Of course, we would have been bankrupt by now if I had. Anyway, that's my story. I hope it can help somebody. Please message me if you ever have any questions or you'd like to talk about it more. It's a long story, but I thought maybe it was time to share it. And if you hung in there with me that whole time, congrats. I'm proud of you. And I value every single one of you, and your friendship and your support and encouragement means a lot to me. Have a great rest of your life.